Okay, so I was still talking about the eighth house, and then my video cuts because, yeah, cool. So the eighth house, right? Associated with death, transformation, and rebirth. I want to explain this because a lot of people are so afraid of, and I'm not trying to downplay or to ridicule your fears, but I'm just trying to explain why it's necessary. Okay. Um because things don't stay the same. Nothing stays the same. Things evolve. They just change form. Nothing really dies. At least this is what I think. It's what I believe. I don't think things really die, that they just change form. And I guess because we are attached to how the things are in a specific form, that when it changes form, we then feel like it's completely disappeared. Um, yeah. Okay, the eighth house is a little bit tricky to discuss. Okay, moving on to the ninth house is the house of ideals and belief systems. And I guess then this also then highlights what happens in the eighth house, because when unexpected things happen, we then tend to form a sort of like moral code. And the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter has got to do with our higher ideals. So it is also about, and it's about higher learning, right? Because I really guess because we've accumulated so much, but it's like, okay, we want to know more. We want to know more. We want to know more. So that's represents sort of like universities and that sort of thing. So your pursuit for higher, just more knowledge, right? Because of the unexpected things, I think this is how I see it. The unexpected sort of like things that happen in the eighth house, or this, because the eighth house is just such a, like, it really does sort of shake one up. And I think what sort of helps is then developing a sort of moral understanding of why things are, you know? Okay. And that's the ninth house. All right. And then we get to the 10th house. Woohoo! Ruled by, sorry, I know. Listen, please don't take my tone to be, what's the word? Insincere. Because I know I was talking about pretty heavy stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people have been dealing with things like death and probably feel like, okay, I was being insensitive, and I apologize if that's how I come across. It's just, I I guess I'm very much, I think about like these sort of things on a day-to-day basis, that I sometimes forget it's a reality that a lot of people deal with and don't know how to cope with. And I'm sorry. Okay. So the 10th house is ruled. Can you guys see it? Okay, it's in the third quadrant. So now so the second quadrant, like I said, is the awareness of the other person. Okay. So now we're moving to the fourth and final quadrant, and now that's sort of taking all of that knowledge and integrating it, be forming groups. So the 10th house is the house of Capricorn, and it's ruled by Saturn, because Saturn rules Capricorn. Okay. So it's very much aware of one's purpose and what you're here to do, so to speak. It also actually, the 10th house is actually synonymous with what's called the MC, which is your midheaven. So that's how other people see you. Now, I don't know if you remember when I was speaking about the fourth house, which is actually directly opposite the 10th house, where I said the fourth house is like you, your internal world, and what makes you do the things you do, like inside, like internally. So the 10th house is literally how other people see you. So you don't really have to say much. It's just like, that's what they see. Similar to a little bit to the ascendant, but not really. Like I say, okay, I'm really confusing you guys and I'm sorry. Okay, but the 10th house is how other people perceive you, and this is what you're here to do in the world. Okay. A lot of famous people have their sun in the 10th house. So just fun fact, if you guys didn't know, a lot of famous people, not all famous people, I said a lot of famous people do tend to have their sun in the 10th house. And that's where we get publicly recognized for certain things that we've done, either good or bad. Hey, anything goes. Anything goes with the 10th house. And yeah, it's also your higher vocation and just, yeah, how people see you. Okay, then the 11th house ruled by Aquarius. And if you guys are familiar with Aquarius energy, it's actually a very interesting energy. I love it because it's very much aware of its sense of self, but it's very much aware of needing to form groups with people that are like-minded so we can coexist on this planet. Okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention something about the 9th house. Okay. The 9th house also rules, when I said beliefs, it's also like your religious beliefs. Okay. So that's why I said the whole moral code. Okay, cool. Fast track back to the 11th house. Sorry, these thoughts just come at me and then I forget. Okay, then the 11th house is your groups, these are the friends that you actually make, because you guys have things in common, typically. And because it's ruled also by Aquarius, it's got a certain goal, or you guys are connected by a certain value or goal that you're trying to reach or that you believe in. Okay. And it's also, so yeah, it's your friends, all the groups that you're a part of because of everything, literally everything. And now you're using that. So you now understand who you are, how you relate to people, one-on-one, that sort of thing. But it's like, okay, in a group, go. This is what you're doing. Cool. Then the final and last house of this is the 12th house. And this house gets a lot of bad rep, which is very weird because, I mean, then Pisces as a sign should just get a lot of bad rep. And it doesn't, because everyone understands how compassionate and caring Pisces are, because they understand each and every one of these energies. And that's the thing about Pisces. That's why people are just like, I just don't understand you. Like, because the 12th house has collected literally all of the energies of each house. And in the 12th house, it just sort of, it's going to sound very weird, but it dissolves. And as like the need for, it's also considered the house of like service, but like that's the thing. Okay, I'm getting to that point. Because what I'm trying to show you guys with this whole chart is that each sign has a polarity. And that's why I made the colors. I don't know if you guys can see the corresponding colors. So the 6th and the 12th house are connected. They are on the same polarity. Similarly, the 5th and the 11th house are connected. The 10th and the 4th house connected. 9th and 3rd house connected. 8th and 2nd house connected. first and seventh house. So you get it, right? Okay. And what I'm trying to make everyone realize this is that it's the same thing, but just on different ends of the spectrum. So I don't know if you remember, if I like when I said, okay, let's take the first house for instance, right? That's you now are developing yourself, but you're developing yourself so you realize, so you can then interact with other people, which is where the seventh house, literally opposite. Libra, Aries, polarity, Taurus, Scorpio, okay? Capricorn, Cancer, Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius, right? Leo, Aquarius. So Leo, your sense of individuality, how you express yourself, but then how you express yourself in groups, how that is beneficial for a group, Aquarius. Okay? House of service, Virgo. How's that service affecting or benefiting everybody? 12th house. How is your own vacation benefiting the world? It's 12th house, you know? And that's what I'm here to show you guys, is that literally we can't think of ourselves of just one thing. It's very limiting to do so, because we are all of this. We all have this energy. Just some people, it's more concentrated in particular areas, and that's the thing. For me, for instance, I've got a lot of planets in the first quadrant, so I'm here to understand myself, really, you know. And I guess that's why I'm making things like astrology, because I want other people to also understand themselves. And that's just one of the key things that are important for me. But that's not to say, because I don't have a lot of emphasis on in the other houses, that I don't have that energy, or that I'm not here to learn those lessons. I am. Equally, so is everybody else. You know, you might have a lot of planets in the upper quadrants over here, being aware of the other. So you tend to be more receptive to other people. But that's not to say you don't have a sense of self, or your sense of self is unimportant, because it is. How would you be able to give of yourself if you don't understand who you are, really? So yeah, they're all different. They're all literally, we've only got 6 polarities if we just think about it. I know we've got 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 houses, but it's literally 6 polarities, because it's the same energy, just in like on different spectrums. So how you feel about yourself internally often influences how you then go out into the world, and how you want to be recognized, so to speak. So that's that 4th house, 10th house axis. How you communicate versus the ideals that you have. So you need to communicate, because you've got these ideals, but you also need to communicate those ideals. So it's all working in concert and in unison, and it's beautiful. And I just want people to understand that dance that's just happening within themselves and within other people, you know. It's phenomenal. It really is. So I implore everyone, find your birth charts, understand, read, just discover more of you. I guess that's what I'm here to tell you, because that's my emphasis. But yeah, definitely.